Hello and welcome, my friends, to an episode that is a surprise even to me. Yep, that's right. I didn't expect to be back for another episode here on Thanksgiving Eve, but well, I'll tell you all about it. We're not going to rush forward on any further content. What I decided to do was to come back since I found myself with a little bit of extra time and get the picks repaired today. So forewarned is I don't know. You've been warned. Let's leave it that way. We are just gonna be going and getting our other three picks repaired in this episode. Um, so we'll kind of hang out. I hope you stick around. It's um, gonna be fairly chill, and I don't know. I hadn't really thought that much about where we do it, whether that's the creeper farm or the end again. We just did the end. And it's not like I don't enjoy taking out Endermen, but it seems like one or the other um, might mix it up a little bit. Either, you know what I think we're going to do? I'm kind of thinking Blackstone slash lava slimes. I mean, we're going to be wearing the pick, but if we just kind of open it up, they'll kind of be constantly at us. Let's go. Let's go get a minute of security. And the amount of Blackstone we get may be minuscule even. Let's grab one. Pick this back up. Let's try to get a dump box. I mean, I guess we can use any and all of these. Let's start with the two random ones. I don't know how well this is going to go, but what I'm thinking is we just clear this, right? We've got a couple areas just this way where we've got a bunch of lava slimes and we got a bunch more right out here. So I'm going to kind of open the floodgates and let these guys come to us, and we'll just do a bit of picking away at making this kind of a flat area. I think this may rival anything we've got in terms of XP at the moment. And yeah, we're going to open up to that side too. But first things first, we're going to open up this area so that any of these out in the lava sea here can come on by. He's going to keep trying. Maybe we will. I don't know if that's hanging up any of them, but let's get this little room opened up. Come on down. And then, let's see, now I don't want to really go down in this hole with, use the right click with the slimes around, but I don't want to have the slime be able to come after me. See, now they're gonna, once we open this up all the way, these guys are gonna have access to us as well. This may create a monster, but may also be just the ticket. Let's stock up a bit more. We'll try to get clear around this hole so we can kind of pop in from different directions. And we'll just slowly pick away at this. I know we're not going to really get Blackstone, but I think we can more than keep even with the amount of pick that we're using. There was the gravel wall that never ended up having Blackstone underneath it to tempt us to put ourselves below lava level and then open up a gap. Now we're pretty safe from it. So, think that's pretty good. Now we just start knocking out walls. So opposite what we've always been trying to do here, but this may, if we can kind of create an area where we fight them on their own terms, it may keep the amount that we have to deal with from our various pathways a bit less stressful. Let's go straight through here. Here we may want to have a few two tall little islands as we go forward where we can kind of veer around if we do get swarmed by a bunch of the big boys. Kind of like anybody who remembers in Slow Cooker at our Wither farm, we had some sections that were wide open, but they were only too high just so that we could kind of cut past the Wither skellies and then attack them from another side. Maybe a little bit of an advantage, but every once in a while you just need... So this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? Now he's stuck. We can come out here, but if there were a couple coming, we can kind of keep them at bay until we get them down to these sides, and then smooth sailing. So we're going to hope to knock all this out, and then any of them spawning in the area will be able to come after us. Oh, that was a mistake. And of course, you guys don't. Wow. Care? Hang on. Whew, I don't know what that was. I just felt something like move in my throat. Whew. I was also curious. I don't know if anybody even bothered to go check out the old video I tweeted out. Kind of doubt it, but in that one, I didn't remember the specifics of what we'd done for the floor and the walls and all that. But it was basically just basalt like put on end, so we weren't doing anything fancy with preparing or decorative building materials on that one. So we can feel good about this. We took the time to polish our Blackstone and granite. Alright, here we go. So now, oh, I gotta switch that. This, I think, we can go at least to there. I'll let him jump up if he'll keep coming. I don't know if that will happen or not. Oh, don't do that. Come on, dude. How are we doing on this pick, though? The YouTube thumbnail factory is gonna love this, though. It loves these lava slimes for some reason. Thinks they are where it's at for. Alright, that's pretty good. Get you back from there. Now, are you the one that got all stuck on the roof earlier? Ooh. There's big boy. Come on, big boy. Can you see me over there? Yes, you can. So I want this to kind of be an island out to that stuff. And it may mean that at some point we lose our nice everything pointed upwards deal. Or we go for a swim, although I don't really look forward to swimming in lava with all these guys up above unseen. You guys all have seen what happens when these big ones start dropping their damage. Some of the biggest damage in the game. So we'll probably get over that quick. And the best technique I have against that is to try. Okay, those must have already been done. So here, right, we're not able to place a block. So try to aim to the one below, and then do the same there. Go. And, you know, here we're not particularly concerned about basalt. It would be a great use for all the netherrack that we have, too. So now, some of these one-offs we can also clear out a little bit, just to keep them from getting hung up. Okay, but now we've kind of used up our spawn. Let's come this way. And is this the most efficient means to repair? I don't think so, but I'm just thinking in what we've got going right now, it's probably the most entertaining. Even found a little blackstone. And we don't want to get rid of our access to the up high area. So like this staircase, important. Let's keep that. But I think some of this we can start to clear out. just to kind of connect these areas where they can spawn to our hallway. Could end up being a big fix needed down the road, but it's easy enough. We just drop blocks along the edge of our path, and if we leave the ceiling in place, then the big slimes can't get over the top. Okay, got some more back over here. Hey, buddy, come here. Anything over this way? I think that's the edge we need to work on next. See, I don't like them getting stuck up above. Kind of want to, at the edge of our roof, we kind of want a nice steep cliff. Yeah, I made a contraction. Except those don't work very well when it makes a different word that already has a meaning. A steep cliff face so that there's none of these little things, and then they can't out jump the cover. It's kind of like the phrase "can't out kick the coverage." If there's not a thing for them to get stuck on when they do their big jump, then they'll just be forced to come in and hang out with us. So things like this, I think that'll probably help us out. I don't know quite how high they can jump. And I don't mind the ones falling from higher, although I don't think that really applies right here. But any of this area where we can go back and forth and work this out so we can go up the middle and keep them spawning and then coming towards us is ideal. And I think, well, I mean, I guess we totally confirmed that they don't have to have lava to spawn in that previous ghast hall that we made in the slow cooker world. That's... Hey, buddy, come here. Are there any others around? That's what you want to... Don't want to find one behind you that's taking up residence. And I'd like him to come up so different now that we're trying to get them to come in. There we go. Come on. Alright, good job. Well, that worked pretty well. We got a new technique. Ooh, there's one down here. So we've almost got a pick done. I should check our time because I don't know when we really started. We should also fill in this hole. I don't know if there's sky access up there. I don't think so. Get that quartz. Here's something jumping around. Again, rather than getting caught with it sitting on my head and just racking damage with no totem in my hand, I'd like to avoid that. So I guess this has been a little more engaging than I expected it to be, just from what we decided to do with our time. But I was gonna just talk about the craziness. So I'd started, I think, on Monday, like, oh yeah, I'm recording early. I'm gonna get out of here. I got so much stuff to do. It's, beginning of the holiday weekend and all that, or the week, and take care of my business. I'm a procrastinator. I don't like to do stuff until I have to. And I totally lived up to that this week. Just getting the episodes. I mean, what, we did like 4 episodes that day, and then I did a bunch yesterday as well. And I still was getting stuff done, but I didn't do like, all right, I'm taking the whole day and getting everything that I need to done. And part of that was I've been looking for this booster shot for my COVID vaccine, right? And so far, I haven't gotten any. But then, like, every day when I get to about the point where I've given up, that's when they start to release. And it's like, oh, if you want one, drive 25 miles this way, and it's rush hour and all that. And no. And now I don't want to get it today, and then be all, oh yeah, thanks for inviting me to come and hang out for Thanksgiving, but yeah, I feel like crap, and I have a fever, and whatever side effects you get from the vaccine booster, I don't want to have those tomorrow at Thanksgiving. So I pretty much decided today I wasn't doing that, and that's where I'm kind of wrapped up. But while the last 2 videos, in fact, one of them is going up in about 20 minutes. So while we're recording this episode, the second of the part 2 of working on the floor will go live, which is nice. There's that big lava fall. I don't think I'm interested in clearing that, but I do think I'm interested in trying to get this broken out to the lava sea. Hey, we'll get you in here. Don't worry, buddy. Take your time. There you go. Come on up. While you're doing that, I'm going to do that. Maybe that. Oh, that was a deeper one. Got another big guy coming up behind me. Oh, it was really deep. Still didn't get him. There we go. Hey, we've almost got a pick done. So anyway, I'd procrastinated, and the stuff that I've had to do is just dumb, basic stuff. I've kind of, I kind of time big grocery trips amid the smaller, like, every few days get fresh produce, fresh meat, that kind of stuff. And then every once in a while you go through and get dry goods and all those, cans of soup that you're going to mix with stuff, broth, and restock the seasonings and all that kind of stuff. Unless you know, like, oh, hey, I need this for this item and I don't have it, you tend to put those off. At least I do. I don't go, oh, I should, get the huge buggy. I get the little arm basket and get, eggs and milk and that kind of stuff just for what I'm going to use. And then kind of, all right, now I've got to do it. So I've been due for the big run for a minute, and kind of needed to do it this week, but was, just making it work to where I didn't even need the well, I kind of did a quick run recently and have been just using that up with what remained of my kind of dry goods and stuff. In the exact don't do this in the winter or COVID time behavior. Like, okay, if I now got stuck for 2 weeks, I'd be pretty strapped for groceries. Although, to be fair, I do have a big truck and can do the whole winter driving thing. So even if we got a freak snowstorm, I don't think I'd be down for more than a day or two, max. And worst case scenario, even if I had to limp together, I've got I've still got stuff, right? It just would be for some odd meals. Hey, would you like some canned black beans with tuna? That kind of stuff. And I certainly wouldn't waste away if I had to skip a day of meals. Believe it or not, you don't have to eat every single day. In fact, there may well be some human development stuff that says that we're not even designed to do that. From our hunter-gatherer days, right? There would be cyclical feasting, appropriate for Thanksgiving, and then fasting periods. Winters and periods when you don't just have a big supplement of grains. Now, it's not ideal, and that's why we developed agriculture and all that kind of stuff. And we've got a long period of human evolution and history using those survival techniques to have adapted to. So I'm not like, hey, I heard on YouTube that Habit says I should skip eating for a few days in a row and then eat. No, don't do that. We can do a lot better. But I'm just saying, at some point that was kind of the norm, and people talk about, oh, the Hollywood star did a cleanse or that kind of stuff. That's getting to that idea. It's letting your body kind of reset and clear everything. It's the same as kind of fasting before you go in for a doctor's appointment. They're going to do blood work. It lets your body reset and kind of get down to a baseline. So, I don't know. It's probably okay sometimes if you get down to where you're not just loaded up with stuff. But anyway, I had to get to the grocery store. I'm going to be a guest at somebody's Thanksgiving tomorrow. Good family friends of mine that are kind of like my Colorado family, and have been for years. Kind of. I love my parents. They, these people don't make up for it, but certainly, it's kind of my Colorado mom and that kind of stuff. Known them for a good part of my life and all that. So, anyway, you want to take something when you get to go to one of those kind of things. And since I like to cook, I'm a pretty good cook, but that's tougher on Thanksgiving unless it's traditional and you have your kind of turf claimed. It's tough to just show up and be like, oh, hey, yeah, I brought this. Oh, okay, we already had 3 of those, but good job, thanks. What, you're saying that our food isn't good enough for you, that kind of stuff. Now, in pre-COVID, I used to do the Friendsgiving kind of deal where it would be more of a potluck. And that's where I claim it from the start. I'm like, green bean casserole, I'm on it. And I mean, it's tough to beat the little recipe on the box, right? My only real modification from just the straight up recipe is I do a double batch in 2 different casseroles, and it says to use, like a can of the fried onions. And I forget. I think it says use half or whatever of the onions in the kind of mixture that you put in the oven, and then save aside the rest to put over the top and kind of crisp in the last 5 minutes of baking. I do a full can into the soup mix, and then usually because I do a double batch, I split that a third can between the 2 batches to get more of the crispy onions on top and more of that flavor into the casserole itself. And that's not a major tweak. I think it adds a little more to the texture. And see how we were sitting just fine, and all of a sudden we're down 2 hearts and hungry. I said, don't take it lightly. So anyway, the reason for me telling all about my secret green bean casserole recipe. There you go. You can have it. Maybe we'll make a cooking video someday on YouTube. But I'm not doing that as a guest at this. So the stand up there and what I've done for years when I have gone to their place is, hey, I'll just bring a couple bottles of wine, and you don't have to use them that night if you don't want to. You're welcome to. Sometimes people have like wines that they're really proud of, or like, oh, hey, I want you to try this. Hey, just keep these, have them on a night when it's just a gift. You can, if that opens them up and keeps them available for others and helps out for the dinner, cool. If you prefer to have them later, cool. But it's a nice effort. So that was my first stop. Hey, I'm going to go get a couple bottles of wine. I'm not a big wine drinker at home, so I don't usually keep any on hand. But I did, and this is what I did last year for Thanksgiving. I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, sorry, I appreciate the invite, but I'm not coming to your place during COVID. And I wasn't going back to see my real family in the Midwest with air flights and all that either. So I knew I was going to have a lot of holidays kind of just doing my own thing. So I'd gone and gotten a couple bottles of wine. I had one for Christmas Eve. I think I had one for New Year's Eve, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to be the one that's like, oh, it's Tuesday night dinner. I guess I'll crack open a bottle of wine and let it breathe before I have it or anything like that. So I've got a couple for myself and a couple for the party. But I went into, out here we have Total Beverages. I don't know if they're a bigger than Colorado chain or, not. Liquor stores are always funky state to state and all that. But this is kind of an upscale warehouse style liquor store. It's bigger than your corner liquor store. Has lots of rows, a full wall of coolers for beer, so you get lots of variety. And out in Colorado, that makes a lot of sense. We have lots. I think everywhere does now, but we have lots of homebrew, I guess microbrew kind of stuff. And now we also have beer in grocery stores, which is a new thing for Colorado. Some places have had that, for all of our lifetimes or forever. I don't even know. I grew up in the Midwest. We didn't have it in grocery stores back where I grew up, and Colorado hadn't until, man, I don't even know. Maybe 5-6 years ago now. I don't know how long it's been. And of course, it was this big deal. Like, oh, liquor stores are going to be totally run out of business if they let beer be sold in grocery stores. It's unfair to all these established businesses. But I think in that case, the consumers are very much able to make that distinction, right? And yeah, it's not, it's kind of a built-in monopoly for the liquor stores previously, but they can still compete and do, it's just like niche produce or delis or those kind of things exist in, alongside grocery stores. People are going to go for quality, and you can still deliver a lot of quality over just a regular old grocery store's beer cooler by being a liquor store. And not to mention wine and I guess any of the harder booze, spirits, all those have to be sold through liquor stores. So there's still a lot of reasons, but man, they're not struggling today. Oh my goodness! So this is a big, it's right alongside of Best Buy. So think that those kinds of dimensions of a store. It goes way back from the parking lot, which was packed, and I should have known from the start. But I was like, okay, yeah, it's is what it is. So I go in there. I already know the kind of wine I'm going to get, and I need this many. I don't grab a basket or anything. I was like, okay, 4 bottles of wine. I could just carry that up to the register. And I kind of didn't even notice until I'm walking back that there are lines for the registers, and they had a lot of staff. They knew what was up, right? It's like grocery stores. They know this is one of the big days. So they got like 6 registers open, and there were lines to the back of this big old store. Double lines. So like they were splitting out to the registers, but like one side of the entrance and the other all the way back, like 40 people deep in these lines. It was crazy. I must have. It was probably they were moving, but probably 15, 20 minutes in line just to check out with my bottles of wine. So that's the kind of day it was. And then the next thing I had to do was get my car registration renewed. The tag, the little license plate tags that have the year on them. I think that's how most every state does it here in the United States. If you're international, I don't know, how car registration works. If you guys even do that, but you have to pay tax to keep your vehicle current in the state where you drive it. You are, come on. So yeah, I'd be curious if you're a driver in a different country. I know we've had people say hi from Russia and India and Germany, and a lot of those places you don't need a car. Public transportation is good, and you can hop on a train. You have local neighborhood type stores. Our neighborhoods tend to be more distributed, so you can get by. And I know a lot of younger folks just don't even have the interest in driving, and that's odd to me. I get it. It's very responsible, and like with Uber and all that kind of stuff, it makes more sense now. The world is changing. You don't have to have as much driving dependency, but there was just so much freedom in having your car when you were, so I had a car when I was growing up. I had an older sister. She went off to college. She didn't take the car with her, so it was mine to drive when I turned 16 and had it through high school. It was how I carpooled with a bunch of other kids to get them to school. Just pretty good system. But yeah, it was like, all right, obviously my parents still like you're gonna have to get good grades. You gotta be able to pay the insurance and not get in trouble. That was the first thing to go if you got in trouble. Well, all right, now you're not driving for X amount of time, depending on what it was you did. And you had to keep them in the loop as to where you were going to be. But it was freedom, and I don't understand. Even if you're not going to have a car or anything like that, just this, like some of my friends' kids are turned 16, and some of them, have permits and are excited about it. But I think a lot are like, no, well, I'll get it someday, but I don't have any interest in getting a driver's license right now. And it's like, what? I think once you get one, you kind of discover, wow, a whole world is opening up to me, and I don't know. Anyway, we got to register our cars. You got to do it every year. And you pay a fee. Now, I drive a really old, well, not like antique, but like it's high mileage Toyota 4Runner, 1998. So it's 2021. So you guys do the math, but it's old. And for that reason, it's the insurance on it. If basically if it gets in an accident, it's done. The insurance company's going to laugh and be like, "All right, there's not that much value here. We're not going to replace. We'll total it and give you a check for a couple $1,000, and there you go. Have a nice day." But I got to be careful to leave stairs over on this side too. You have to pay so much per year based on the age of your vehicle, and that goes to supporting roads and all that kind of stuff. It's a tax, kind of a use tax for roads and everything else that the state and county has to put into maintaining the infrastructure that we all drive on and share. So I'm not complaining. I think it's just fine, and I'm happy to do it and pay it and be a good just community citizen. I think that's one of those parts of the deal that we all should understand we're buying into when we are citizens of an area. Now, if you don't drive, that's why it's for registrations, right? If you don't have a car, you shouldn't have to pay for that kind of stuff. You're not using the roads as much. It gets passed on to you. If you ride in an Uber or taxi or anybody, you can bet that they're including that as an expense and building that into the pricing to keep their businesses going, right? I got to have a car to give you rides as an Uber driver, so therefore I need to be compensated for that. So anyway, I have to go get my registration, get the little license plate year sticker. So, and it stinks being in November. Like, I go in and finally get my sticker, and there's already people that practically have the next year's, right? So I just got my little sticker for 2022. In Colorado here this year, it's yellow. Oh. I feel you get taken out by your ghast buddy. Maybe you guys should start fighting the ghasts. Oh. We can swap these two. I wonder how long I was talking for and didn't even notice that. Hey, and our video should be up. Part 2 of the floor building. So I'll push this, and we may run this one long, just because it's a bonus, and it will just keep. We'll see how far we are through this pick before the next one starts. I'd said when we were recording the other ones, hey, so this is going to be all of it, and I then hate to turn around and be like, so you guys missed the conclusion of the bill. We got the advancement and everything. Ha ha ha! Happy Thanksgiving. That's kind of uncool, I think. So we'll do it this way. No work on the ghast haul on the continued episodes, whether it's just the one or a couple today. Instead, we'll get all these picks back and ready for tomorrow. Because when we do that ceiling, that's going to eat them up fast. Alright. This is what I was trying to keep marked off. Kind of clear around it. See how much better that works once we get the little overhang lips knocked out. Ooh, here's some. There was a lot of knockback on kind of a clipped shot. Definitely was not fully... listen. I'm not going to lose track of my story either. We gotta kind of chop these down and then get some food. So anyway, I need to get these little tags. They're yellow this year for 2022, and it's just a sticker that goes on the car's metal license plate on the back. And there's one that says your month, so mine says November, and then there's one that has the year number. And so, based on whenever you bought the car and this registration was first set up, it renews every year. You go through and get it and pay for it, and then you're good for that year. And you start over. So being at the end of the year, it's like I get mine, and they do give you. I think they give you a grace. So there's been times when I've gotten it in December when I've been just busy or forgotten or whatever. Particularly in those, you start seeing people driving around with the next year's sticker before you even have yours like on or ready to go. It's like, oh man, I missed out. So, but last year, and they may have had this before, but I always went into the office to get my little stickers in person because it was just easier. And this is kind of a little rant, but they charge you a renewal service fee. But they've now got these kiosks in a couple of grocery stores around, and time-wise, it's fantastic. Like you go in and you take the little thing you get in the mail. There's this little postcard that they send you. It's like, okay, you're set now to renew. You need to bring this to the office or the kiosk, and you need to every other year. I didn't have to this year, but every other year you have to go get your emissions tested to make sure that your car's not belching over the limit of harmful chemicals in the exhaust out into the world. So this year I didn't have to do that. So this was easier. Just go into the thing. And last year during COVID, I tried to go to the office and I'm like, dude, you don't need an appointment or anything. Just go to the grocery store. They've got like this little check-in security guard guy at the little county DMV office. And he's like, dude, you don't need to be here. Just go there. Because at that point you needed appointments. And, I guess kind of boomer me. It reminds me how much older I'm getting, but it's one of those that like I still do my taxes until last year, and I probably still will by hand in the paper, and go to the library, get the little forms, and fill them out and go because I'm a single guy, and I have a good living, a good life, but I don't make over the thing to just fill out the easy form. It's like 2 pages of information on your little thing, and then you mail in, you find out, and usually I'm getting like a refund on one, and the state I owe like less than $1. So in some years it costs me more for the stamp to send in the payment than it does for the whole deal. And it's like, if you file online, it's like, it's always a deal. Free federal tax return, but you got to either pay for the state or you got to buy the software. And the software takes longer to use, in my case, than it does to just do it by hand. It would make me insane. Like, no, you're not going to get me to have to pay all these extra little fees on something that's, the most I have to even outlay is like 17. The most I've had to pay in probably all my adult life has been like $4. And I guess that says I'm not aggressive enough on, my stuff. But hey, I'm a simple guy, and it's worked out well enough to let me spend a lot of time doing this recently, and through the pandemic and all that, without a whole lot of concerns. So, and without going into debt, if you can avoid it in your life, do not have debt. Do not just go, oh, everybody else has got a new car, so I should have a car payment. Everybody else keeps a credit card balance, so I should break that break that habit or never start it. If you're still going into school and stuff, don't get a credit card just to do money. Open a checking account, put your paychecks in there, and spend out of that. And if you, hey, I had car payments and stuff when I was first getting started. It's not like every car I've ever had was cash. My first real job, I went out and got a new car because I could, and that was a big deal. I felt really proud. I was proud, and it was nice to have it. I didn't know as much about maintaining vehicles at that point as I do now, so it was nice to have something new that wasn't going to break down all the time. It's kind of like, all right, you got to go in for servicing on this and this, and so that was good. But I also did the financing through my credit union, and they had pre-approved me for this much for a car. They knew I was employed and all that, and it was where I think I split my direct deposit out of my paycheck so that it would go into the credit union, and I'd get like twice as much into the credit union as I needed for my car payment each month, and the other half went into savings, and just kind of started building that up. And the other part all went into my checking account. That was, where I had my rent and my expenses for entertainment and all that kind of stuff. Good system to have. But again, I'm not like you can never take a loan for anything. Just be very smart and don't live beyond your means. You've got to understand that there's a cost to that, and then try to for that first car, for a long time, years. It was probably a 5-year term or whatever. I just paid what I needed to pay each month, but that's not getting as much of your principal. And it wasn't significant, but probably for the last year I had enough saved in that account from the other half that I was putting into savings to say, okay, I'm just gonna go in, and because it was the credit union, not the car dealership or any other financing company, they were more than happy when I went into the office. I said, hey, I want to transfer my savings balance into and make a final payment on that loan. So I saved a year of interest by just paying it off early, and that was the last car I ever bought brand new, and it worked out. When you do those kind of things, talking about renewing, I still haven't gotten to the actual part of the renewing. So now they got these kiosks in like there's 5 grocery stores in my county that all have these little machines where you can do your renewals. And I gotta admit, it's annoying because there's a service fee to process it, and then there's another service fee to process the payment, and it's like a third party that supplies the machine. So you're basically paying for the privilege of giving another company money just to make it easier on my county to collect my thing. It's like, if they don't want to staff the little renewal office, fine. But why are they passing that back on to me? I mean, I guess it's all our tax money anyway. It would go into property taxes or something else anyway. But I don't know. It's convenient. I got to give it that, usually. So I went in during COVID, the first time I ever used this machine, when the little security guy was like, just go to the grocery store. You'll be done in a bit. And that time, there was like a 15-person line. I was like, wow, dude, I guess this is the DMV, but at least, you're at the grocery store and all that. And it was COVID, so it was like this novelty of, hey, we're all hanging out, we're all masked up and all that, but, like people are chatting in line like total strangers. Hey, so what's going on? You surviving? All that. It was just this random, it was like being out at a bar or something to meet with people. Being able to just kill some time waiting in line was pretty cool. Okay. Oh, this is fixed again. Dang it. I already had this one out. someday I'm going to finish this story, I promise. Let's get both of these. Switch this for this. Alright, sorry guys. I kept you waiting. I know. You got places to be. So yeah, last year, huge line, but it seemed to move pretty quickly. And, for all the, do I have the right stuff? Do I have the... I was worried because, it says on your thing, and obviously you got to have insurance. Proof of insurance is required by state law. I'm assuming in all states, but certainly in Colorado. You got to have car insurance. You got to be responsible if you're going to be potentially in an accident, and they're accidents. Nobody, I hope, nobody intends to get in car wrecks. But they can happen, and they can happen to the safest, smartest drivers around. They can certainly, the chances greatly improve if you're less experienced as a driver, or your equipment is not up to par, or you don't have the skills. If you've never driven in snow before, maybe when it does snow, go to a parking lot and do some practicing instead of just getting on the highway and thinking, okay, now I'm late for work, I gotta go. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, accidents happen, you gotta have insurance. So the first time around, I was like, I don't even know, I've got my my car insurance company app on my phone. Like, is that gonna be scanned, or, do I need a policy number, all that? Turned out to be way less complicated. It's just, I had to barcode scan the emissions test last year, and you scan your little postcard, you barcode scan any emissions stuff, and you basically just, have a little checkbox. It's like a software license agreement. Like, I do have insurance. Then it's on you to provide that, but you don't need to have it where when you went into the office, they would look at your proof of insurance card. So anyway, I'd figured all that out, and it was really easy when I finally got my turn at the deal. And you just pop a credit card in, and you're good to go. You're off, and it spits out your stickers along with your little registration card. Boom, boom, boom. So I went in this time. The first thing was they'd moved it in the grocery store, so I'm looking like, uh-oh, is it a different grocery store now? Like, what's going on? But then I find it. And, I walk up, there's one lady at the machine, and then there's a guy, standing in front of a do-it-yourself lottery ticket, scratch ticket machine, vending machine kind of deal. I'm like, hey, man, are you in line? He's like, no, I got to work with this machine. It, ate my money, and I'm waiting for somebody, whatever. All right. So I'm on deck. I'm like, I'm going to be in and out of here in no time flat. Well, then, I'm just kind of standing there minding my own business. I realized that I have no signal on my phone, and I'd already replied to a text, and I'm just watching the status bar that says it hasn't been delivered. So it's one of those kind of deals. So I kill 5 minutes, something like that, with not even thinking about it. And then I kind of look over, I'm like, dude, this lady's still there, and what's going on? And I look, and she's got 3 different cards out, and looking at them all, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on there. Well, then some store person comes over and tries to help her with it, and basically is like, we can't do a whole lot with this. She tried, made sure she was putting in the card the right way and all that kind of stuff. And no obvious user error or anything like that. So they're kind of going, and the lady's like, I'm so sorry, I don't know what's going on here, but I can't get this to work. And I'm supposed to be heading out of state. She's on the Thanksgiving road trip, hopefully right now from the sound of it. But that was her, I got to head out see the family and all that, and I got to get these my license registration updated before I go hit the road. So more of a procrastinator than me. I just needed to get mine done before the end of the month. She's like waiting to go see grandma or whatever. But it's not working. And I'm like, I had no particular hurry. So I'm like, look, I get it. Don't worry about me. I'm just here chilling, and figure your stuff out. I'm not gonna make you like wait for me. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. It's got all my information in it. I can't get it to release. And I'm like, I'm not gonna step in and start playing the hero here. Like, okay, well, let me know if you're gonna, walk away or anything. I will try to make sure that it's all cleared out. I don't want to be stuck paying for your registration and mine. But so she called the support number. So she's got the cell phone and she's actually talking to somebody. I don't know what or who but I was surprised. Like, you got through to somebody at a motor vehicle department on the day before Thanksgiving in support. That's crazy. It doesn't really fit the stereotype of the DMV. So she has like this 10-15 minute support call, and they're like, going through and doing all this stuff. And it's not like I've been on the other side of those calls. I've done a lot of technical support back when I was first getting started. I was that guy. I've led teams that do all that, and I can tell they don't have the answer. It's not like this is one of those things that's either going to be fixed immediately or not at all. And from what I could hear, and I wasn't trying to like eavesdrop, but I'm like queued up. Now there's other people behind me waiting to use the machine, and the checker, when it was still just me, the like cashier closest to the thing is like, she doesn't know that the lady's on her cell phone, and she's like, ma'am, can you let this man go through? I'm like, don't worry, we've talked, it's all good. Like, don't get on this lady's case, she's stressed enough. But yeah, it was not looking or sounding good for this woman, and I wanted to, I wanted to see a happy resolution, but it didn't like it was coming. And when I could tell she was kind of getting the thanks for your time, bye, I kind of leaned over and I said, hey, it doesn't sound like this one's going for you, but I don't know if you're aware that there's a DMV office in person right down the road where I've done tags and all that kind of stuff before. You should be able to go there and settle up. I am assuming they're still doing stuff, and the only reason I didn't go in the last time was because the COVID registration stuff. So like, I don't know the address or anything. My phone doesn't apparently have any signal here, so sorry, but it's like, go this far south on this road, and hopefully they can take care of it. It was best I could do to try to be a helpful person in that moment. But she's gone, and like this older woman had come in and was standing behind me, and she'd already wheeled up in the cart and like gotten right behind this lady, not in a cart, but like pushing a shopping cart, right? And she like gets right up behind her, and I didn't say anything, but I've got like my little postcard in my hand, and I kind of just like wave it a little bit, and she looks over and is like, "Oh, okay, I get it. You're in line." So then she like tries to turn her cart around. She totally, I used to do it as a kid, and it was like my mom was like, "Dude, you don't get to push the cart," but like, you ever been a kid or accidentally done this or had it done to you where like somebody else's cart clips the back of your ankle as you're trying to look for something on a shelf or whatever, and it's just they're not aware of how far that bottom thing sticks out. But that's what this older woman does this to the lady that's trying to make the machine work. It's like, oh, it tells you how distressed the woman was that was on the phone. She didn't even like acknowledge it. She's just intent on trying to make this thing work. So anyway, there's been people lined up, and when she finally kind of calls no joy and decides to try to head to the in-person office, I jump up there, and it took like maybe 2 minutes for me to do all mine, and kind of joked to the woman in the bed waiting. I was like, we got looks like it's working okay. Good news, and it seemed to go really smooth for me. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, yeah. Do you want to run mine? And I was like, hang on, hold up. Maybe I spoke too soon because all of a sudden it there's like this huge pause while it's printing the receipt and the actual stickers. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have waited before I said anything and make sure I get my stickers. But I did, and it all worked out. And the grocery stores are a madhouse. In case you didn't know, I did go in and get just a few things. Honestly, well, I almost threw those away. Um, Honestly, enough to get me solidly into the weekend. I know, after things like day after Thanksgiving, everybody's out Black Friday shopping and all that. I think the grocery store should be pretty good time. Although they may be pretty ransacked and not have had a chance to restock the shelves too much. We'll see. I'm not looking to buy turkeys or anything. I should check the time on this episode. Just see where we're. This worked out pretty well. At least it's different. I'm not saying we won't be back at the creeper farm to get gunpowder along with creepers, but really don't enjoy the waiting for the creepers to fill up when I've got you guys watching. I just don't think that's a very good viewer entertainment option. Oh, so many hiccups. Okay, we got a moment. Let's escape. I'm sure we're going over 107. All right, let's wrap this up, and we will come back, I think, for another, just to finish up the last of the picks. So that'll probably be a quick one, but I don't want to. Should we? Let's just make this a long one. I apologize in advance, but probably you guys aren't even watching anyway, honestly. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you guys have a vendetta against lava slimes and want to see them die. In which case, hey, you're getting your full. Your fill. I don't know. I'd at this point of the day, I'd rather just have one long one with, oh, it's going to take an hour to load. That's fine. I'm not going to be doing anything anyway. As opposed to... Come here. I don't think that one can see me. Oh, he's going the wrong way. We got to keep building this out, I guess. Go tell your friend back there to come over here. See, I do think... Woohoo. Further out we can get to bring these back over to us. Let's see if those don't despawn while we... Oh, what'd you do? Where'd you go? See, he went all the way up there. Get down. Get down here. Hey. It's like the nitwit villager. And now these guys made it to shore. And if we get the two of them, then maybe we can do some of this. I hear that. Oh no. That was what we did not want to... Look at that damage. Yeah, so that's coming down off that ledge. This time I'm not going to mess around with those footsteps. I don't know if that was that guy or that guy. Alright, let's see if... that guy's not going to look. They do seem to be very directional. Like, you know, sometimes the ghast seem to look at you, or... I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't think we got... Oh no, that was dumb. There we go. We never did get the one from down there. Alright, let's go see if there's anything back here. Anything in this little room? Let's try not to forget our toolbox while we're here. Ooh, we can come over here. Yeah, maybe this just, it's one more big hop this way. This way. Anytime we can trap them in a corner is good. Okay, good. Now we got some more down here. Maybe we can get a 3-pack. I don't think so, though. Oh, he might be coming. Come here. Come on. When this starts to work, if it can do this kind of reliably, I think this will rival anything that we've got for XP. But like so many others, the Enderman or anything else, you've got to charge it or be dependent on the mobs coming. This is a little exposed to stuff dropping on us. But I do like having this set up. Can we get that one coming? Ooh, we were dangling on the edge so many times there. Kind of think we want to... Maybe we'll just get this out as a little dock. You shouldn't have been able to hit me. That will maybe help us keep those flowing. Listen for anything that sounds like it may be bouncing on stone. In case it's above. Boom. Boom. Close. Very, very, very close. Anybody? Little guy. Come on. Come on, you. Look at that one stuck under the edge. Two coming. I think that second one is coming. Doop, 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 doop. Aww. Snack time. How is this one still not done? Again, I don't know for sure, but I stand by my deal that it takes so much more XP to get the end of the XP bar, or the durability bar, cleaned up. Okay, we got it now. So if we can keep you guys coming back, let's go under the overhang here. Last big one, and then we'll just try to clean up the pick that we'd continue to use down here. Hey, dude. Come on. There you go. Alright, now we got that one, this one. He's the most jumpy. Well, you're going to be jumpy too. Now, I'm not at all worried about our armor's durability, but it does slow effectiveness, so trying to avoid taking shots from the big guys. Come on. Come on. It's kind of a fun little billiard ball. Game likes it now. Out here. No. I don't know if we ever did get to that old broken portal. What this guy? Get you. You're gonna bounce off that wall or get stuck on top of it. The other one didn't come. Let's go see if we can get him while he's still on the... Oh! So yeah, make sure your armor doesn't get damaged. easier said than done. Hey. I know, you've been jealous. Couple more. So let me know in the comments if you're still watching. First of all, congratulations. But also, what do you think? Is this more compelling than like the Enderman over and over again? I just like mixing it up. Like, odds are next time we won't do this. I don't think it's too much faster. It's probably comparable. We could probably do a bit better now that we've got this cleared out, so we wouldn't have to do all the mining from the start and could keep working these corners, bringing things towards us, and kind of, particularly if we made a loop. It would be difficult because I don't want to get rid of the edges, right? I don't want to have to go around replacing those for all the times that we don't want to deal with slimes when we're just trying to use the portal network. But it would be kind of nice if we could go around and keep everything spawning more than just these corner pieces. Now, did he come over? Kinda did. Should we just get rid of this? I don't think it's doing much for us now. Hi. Oh, I should have let you up. Can you come on up here? Come on. Come get me. Ooh, got this one. Can you? Come on, guys. Where did this other one go? Did he despawn now? There you are. Boom. Oh, now I knocked you off. Alright, back over this way. Come on. Come on. There you go. Good guy. Oh, no. Back this way. That. How about you? Come here. It's a good chance for a snack, too. No, don't angle that way. See, now I don't know about despawning those because they're never going to get up over the edge. And it's not so much that I'm worried about their little smaller amounts of XP, but they might keep big ones from spawning down here. I don't know. Anything down here? There's one. Come on. Like halfway through this pick. Not quite, because I do think it'll take more to bring it back. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We'll come to you. Make it easy on you guys. Is he coming? I think he's coming. I wish some of those would. Hi. There he goes. It's gonna take. Oh, what a jerk. You'll come. Oh, look now, that one's coming into position over there. Good stuff. Keep these guys interested. Again, another nitwit of a lava slime. And I do hear... maybe it's just them. Keep these guys interested in coming, and then come out this way. See nothing. No, 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 hey! We're over here. A little laggy. Not the game, that guy. Alright, now we got some more spawn in here. Oh. Then it counted that as the, that was crazy. So, hang on. Let's do a little... No. So that was just part of the game with too many of these guys around, I guess. So it wouldn't let me critical strike him by dropping down or show that I hit it. But then when it jumped and I kind of hit it as it was landing, it gave me the critical stars. So, yeah. Hey, guys. I don't know if that one... There you go. Good, you saw me. And you're going to see me before you get stuck on that walkway. Excellent. That yellow doesn't feel like it moved very much, though, did it? Whoa. There we go. Alright, this is kind of factorying now. There's another big one up there. Hopefully he'll come. Oh, missed you. No, we got like a whole pack of them up there just waiting to drop. Hey, come down here. That one's looking. Lost the other one. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, that was... I hit you with an arrow, dude. See a little life. Oh, don't leave my XP way up there. Can't even get to that. I got too much lava around. Do it this way to avoid dropping any apples. There we go. Alright, this should be exciting. Maybe not. Are you big? Oh, you are big. Oh, boy. Oh, 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 oh. And where are you from? Whoa. At first I thought he was just another of the kind of broken up previous ones. It did get exciting. I was just about to say, yeah, it didn't really get exciting at all, did it? Hey, now we're into yellow-green. Nothing down here. We better walk out to the end of the dock here. Since nothing is around. No! I refuse now. We've gotten to a certain level. Certain expectation of style. Hasn't quite seen us yet. Okay. Now you have. Always look. Always be looking. Anything up above that's likely to get us? Alright, got a couple more down this way. You done. You done. Not done. You started. As beautiful as this little lava flow is, it's kind of annoying. They just don't seem to move down it very quickly. Something to maybe file away, when you're starting a world, when I'm starting worlds, is if you need to dodge, having like a stair thing built up seems to keep them from just getting on top of you. Or maybe that's just because we're ready and waiting on them. Hearing some flopping around. Let's go check up our stairs here. There's one. A little guy, too. Maybe a medium guy. Hi. Oh, can you get through there? Maybe not. May have been a big mistake. I don't know where he is now. Will you come over here? Oh. Alright, well that was fun. Maybe there's more down here now. We're trying to keep the slime involved. Do. There. That's what we were waiting for. You're gonna fall down. You aren't gonna get the chance. Okay. Now did we get some more around? One here. Come on. Come this way so we can try to lure in some of your buddies while you're coming after me. Everything's little. Never gonna get done if we're little. this way. I don't know that I can get any of the rest of those to come this way. So I guess we're winding down, right? We'll just have these last little things. So I'm going to share just kind of why the reason why I talked about that, the experience. I knew it took a long time to get to it, but the experience at the little vehicle registration kiosk in the grocery store in general, and the liquor store and all that. It's just one of those chances where you can really make people's day and kind of surprise them and make yourself feel good at the same time. Just by as soon as I saw that line in the liquor store, and I was like, all right, time to back off. And I understand there are times when it's not going to work like that for you, and you usually in those situations won't know until after the fact, right? Oh, wow. Delivery truck or something with just jamming tunes. You probably, you're super busy, you're racing around and stuff like that. You're not going to even be thinking about, hey, can I be nice to people? You're going to see the line and go like, I'm supposed to be somewhere 10 minutes ago. This is not going to help. And, that's why you do what I'm talking about, what I talked about doing. If you do have the flexibility in your time, where you're not racing off to get somewhere, remember that and just, you know, hey, I've got some time. It's the most precious commodity. We all think about like charity and all that is it just, especially this time of year, sticking a little bit of spare change in the little drum outside the grocery store when they start the bell ringing. Maybe donating at your religious institution or community food bank or clothes drives, that kind of stuff, right? That's all good, and material stuff is important. But we all say, time is the most precious commodity, and sometimes that's the thing that you can most share your generosity with is in those tiny little ways that don't really cost you that much if if you can afford it in the moment, letting somebody go ahead of you in the grocery line. A mom that's got a cart full of kids and they're all screaming, you can tell maybe they're not to screaming yet, but they've already done the whole thing and they're looking at a line full of people and it's like, all you have to do is say, hey, I bet those kids would appreciate it. Why don't you go ahead of me? You got stuff, and that may be a big cart full of groceries, and it may mean that you gotta wait 5 minutes, but that can really make somebody's day. So that's kind of what I was getting around to with my story was, the cashier, the woman, everybody was surprised that each time they asked, I was like, no, like this lady is trying to work something out. And in this instance, it doesn't make a difference if it's an extra 5 minutes. It ended up being more than that, but it's okay. I felt good about it. And when you're driving, if you drive, and you get to that busy parking lot where people are trying to dart in and get a space, wave somebody through. Like, oh, hey, I'll get one. You get after it. Man, it's those unexpected things. Sometimes people don't expect those, right? And there are other people that are busy. It's not like this is a person that's going to be looking for a hand with some cash or some food or something like that to make it through the night. And those people need our support too. But sometimes it's people that don't even know, like, hey, I'm kind of in need of some. I hesitate to call it emotional support, but it's a very simple level of that, right? I just need someone to understand that the next the next few minutes could be real tough, or a real chance to feel good about myself. And if somebody does do that for you or to you, like, hey, go ahead. Don't get into the whole like, no, 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 you back and forth. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that, and go ahead and take it. Um, it's it's one of those things. It's okay. Yeah, all right. Hey, I appreciate, or somebody. A lot of times, this one I kind of play by ear, but a lot of times, it's me. So when I do those regular grocery store trips, where I've just got a little basket, of a few items, and there's a grocery store line. And usually I'll go do the self-check thing, but sometimes those get lines too. Or I'll have more than enough stuff where I can actually bag it and put it on the counter. So I'll have to go into the little human cashier line. Um, but when I do have those situations, somebody will often say, "Hey, you've only got a few things. Go ahead." And I if I truly, truly have nowhere better to be, I'll say, I'm good. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I'm really good. And then sometimes they'll be like, no, 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 I insist. I got a full wagon here. It's going to take me a while. Go ahead. Okay. There's better things that I can be doing than standing in line at the grocery store. And if you're in the same boat, absolutely. But by and large, if somebody goes to the trouble to try to be nice, I'm not going to turn them down because that deprives them of the same feeling of, hey, I did something unexpectedly nice for a person, and they get to appreciate it, and that's going to give them a warm fuzzy for the same one I get today. So I'm thankful that I had that opportunity. I'll get one in early here, right? Um, and I guess I'm thankful that in my life I've learned that early enough from talking to people that have. I think that's one of those things you get from talking to older people. They understand how precious time is, and that's why a lot of times you'll see two extremes. One, folks that are more willing to pass the time of day, appreciate just a idle conversation with a random person. They understand that in their scope of life there are less and less opportunities to do that, so they do savor more chances. But on the flip side, when things start going bad for older people, they can be more prone to get frustrated, because these things, a lot of times technology feels like it's just moved beyond, and it's like, I'm never going to understand that, so that can be frustrating. They didn't grow up with it. But just that time thing, they may be a little more prone to getting short when they don't, they are on a deadline, or somebody's waiting in a car or something. It's like, hey, can we go? And I try to cut some slack there when I can. It's just tough, but especially the holidays. I guess most people would probably have already been air traveling if they are. It always surprises me. I've tried to avoid Thanksgiving travel. I do travel around the Christmas holidays a lot, and I'm going to be doing that again this year, without having done it last year. So we'll see how all that goes. But if you are traveling at either of wherever you are, again, as I said, we got folks from all over the place coming in and saying hi. So I appreciate that. But if your busy travel days are different than ours, Thanksgiving is amazingly, in the United States, that is the busiest travel day of the year, and there's a reason. around the, traditional Christmas holidays. I know Hanukkah gets in there, and now there's Kwanzaa, New Year's. That spreads out a little bit more. Schools are typically shut down for a couple weeks, so and work schedules vary, business to business. But parents with kids can typically take a week off to go visit relatives, and they're not all traveling. Now, at least when I was, I guess not recently, but more recently, even now, I think a lot of younger kids' schools get we get an Amber Alert going. Ooh, not good. A lot of schools do a fall break week. We didn't ever get that. It was Thursday and Friday, and particularly for work, that was the deal. You got Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving were a paired holiday. So that was one of the locked-in 4-day, not 3-day weekends. But you'd often have to work up, so you're traveling on like a Wednesday night or on the day, and then everybody's trying to get back on the Sunday. So those become like the most congested air travel days, all that. I don't know what that's going to be like with Corona. And I did get the flight insurance for my Christmas holiday flights because who knows what's going to happen in the coming weeks. Although I heard when I was out driving around today on my errands, I heard that in Colorado, where we've had a big spike in virus cases, that they think they're seeing a plateau now, that it's not shooting upwards anymore, but is maybe leveled off, which would be great. We could use some of that relief, especially selfishly going into the holidays. And knowing that I haven't had the booster going into Thanksgiving, I know this is still be a little bit of a threat, but we want to get... I definitely am itching to get that booster done, and then let it soak before I head back, because my folks are in that elderly category, and I don't want to bring something along that will hurt them. Now I know I'm going to be exposed to a lot, and I know with even with the booster dose on the vaccine and all that, it may not stop me from carrying and excuse me, there's a yawn. Potentially spreading that, but my niece and nephew are in school, and everybody knows what's going on now. Everybody tries to get their vaccines and boosters as regularly as they can, but we're not going to miss out on another holiday if we can. If it doesn't make sense to travel at that point, we'll readjust accordingly. My mom, it was so tough on my parents, not having, they've always done the holidays, and they even said, yeah, we still decorated last year, even though it was just for us, and they kind of decided to weed down some of the stuff. It was a good chance, but just for them to have the holiday stuff up was a big morale boost in the isolation of the pandemic last year. And the idea of not being able to get together, even though we got to see everyone a couple times this summer, but to not be able to do that at the holidays would be a real tough thing. So I hope that can be something we all get to enjoy. All right, guys, come on, get this last pick, and then maybe we'll do the shovel, and then we'll end this like 2-hour episode. We did another one of these back a while for the Creeper Farm, and in that one I didn't even offer commentary. I was like, hey, from the start, sorry guys, I understand, don't watch, and I don't know how many people, what the view duration average on this one will be. You guys may have turned it off. I know for me, even if I'm not particularly into the content that's on and something I'm watching, I'll jump forward and skip through. So maybe people will have jumped along and seen that we're fighting lava slimes and tuned in for some of the action. If you caught any of this, just remember, if you're traveling, if you're going through some of those busy transit hub kind of stuff or whatever, remember, if you can, be charitable with time. It just drops everybody's stress. And it's sad, but it's totally human nature. The world is so, everybody's so in such in a rush. Well, yeah, that's natural. Don't get upset that people are stressed. Everybody else is feeling the same thing you are and wants to get to their flights. But if you're the one like me that's like, yeah, I will get to the airport a couple hours early and nothing goes wrong. Remember my story about my Dallas flight where the airport trains broke down, which is still a deal. They're now like trying to use that to pass more expansion to our airport because it was such a mess. So in that one, I was glad I was ahead of time. But if everything goes smooth, you get to the airport in plenty of time, then you can be generous. You can be charitable. If you always have money's been kind of tight, you're used to like everybody else does everything. Give yourself a chance to be rich with time and give it in a time when others value it so much. Like, going through a security line. Hey, you got some stuff or you got kids, go ahead of me. Have a good trip. All that stuff. It's just a way to be a good human and, maybe make a friend. Sometimes those are the random, everybody's like, oh, those things in movies never happen. Well, if they don't give you a chance, you never do. But, sometimes you like, hey, go ahead of me as security. You look like you've got your hands full there, kids or whatever, and you end up sitting next to those people on a plane or waiting for it, strike up a conversation, find out you got stuff in common, and they become lifelong friends. That's the way to human. So hopefully some of that can go down for you. Hopefully some one person watches this someday and hears some of these rambling thoughts. That's a little Thanksgiving gift insight into Habbage, and I don't know, the way I try to keep perspective going into some of these unpleasant, and I don't enjoy traveling when it's busy. I've done a lot of holiday flights, and I do it because I treasure the memories that I make with my family when I do, but doesn't mean I enjoy the airporty part of it. And I love to fly. I love to travel, just not in the holidays. So nowadays everybody does Amazon Prime. It's just kind of a thing. I've been an Amazon Prime member for I don't know, pretty much since they started offering it. I don't know when they first did, but the minute it first became a deal, before the videos were a deal of much consequence at all, Netflix was still mailing out DVDs. Everybody remember that? Anybody remember that? I had one of those too. But the whole $99 a year and you get free shipping on all your packages. And then I get to watch some movies, and at the time it was kind of like just on the web. It wasn't much to speak of, but it certainly took off. But from that very first, you get to ship all your stuff for free. I was in, and I paid for it every time. And it was fairly. I'm gonna say it was probably 2005, 6, something like that, maybe. Anybody may be able to Google it and find out, but everything had changed with 2001 and the World Trade Center. The security on packages and all that became much more intense, and this was. this was kind of just after I'd gone into adulting after college and was, traveling but living in Colorado and coming back for the holidays. So a few times I'd shopped intentionally to buy packages that would travel well and wrapped them all in advance and all that. And then with 2001, you couldn't fly with wrapped gifts anymore. I found that out. They opened every single one. I had them in my checked bags, and it got them there, flying in right before Christmas, and everything was just not even like close, just shredded open. Like, oh yeah, we're not even just gonna open a thing and peek in the sides. No, just like these wads of my wrapping paper thrown back in the bag, and everything I had. And I'm sure I'm sure there was a policy, and I was just a young guy, didn't pay attention, but. And so then I started trying to ship things USPS that I'd go shopping, wrap all the presents, and put them in boxes and mail them. And I had so much stuff that it's tough to pack wrapped packages securely if you're doing multiple ones. If you're sending something, you can wrap it, put in the right size thing, and it usually gets there pretty well. But I was trying to do boxes of all my gifts for my family. That didn't go well. So as soon as Prime came out with everything, we were full support here at Habbage Nation, and done it ever since. So, all right, you guys have been awesome. Let's go back upstairs. Thanks so much if you are hanging out with me as I repair the tools. This will allow us to do those walls. Hopefully, if we run out of supplies now, we weren't gathering Blackstone. Oops. But hopefully we'll be able to get through the walls and still have all the remaining picks to now do the ceiling. And with that in mind, tomorrow may be our Uneasy Alliance completion day. May be able to celebrate the advancement on Thanksgiving. Just see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know that the roof or the ceiling is going to amount to too much. Because I think we're going to have so many guests in here after we've gotten the walls and cleared this out. I don't even think we're going to have time or desire to do it. We could carpet the whole thing or in a grid so that guests couldn't spawn temporarily and do it. If there's a huge desire, let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, we totally want to finish ceiling in the guest hall. It's certainly doable, but my thoughts initially are that we're not going to bother. We'll just clear up, do the walls, make them look pretty, leave the rest as netherrack, and be on our way. Now, we may level it out if it gets a little erratic with the pick. We may maybe do a bit of that, but yeah, episode, or it will definitely be multiple tomorrow morning to get this set, but that's the plan, and you guys win the prize for the big supporters. Thanks so much. Bonus episode. See y'all tomorrow, and happy Thanksgiving if you don't get a chance to tune in and watch along with me. Bye now, and happy safe travels. Oh, I can't keep hitting it. Thank you. Take care.